Hi, it's Wasabi. Welcome back to the channel. Got another battle on the Malinovka map, and it's MerryTurnipDay from Mihi clan. He's in the Czech Tier 8 premium tank, the Skoda T27. We've seen a good number of good battles from Merry on this channel, so you should expect nothing less. Now, a little bit about Skoda. I've seen it on this channel previously. I've got one in my garage, but I haven't played it yet, and it's got a 8.8 centimeter gun with an average damage of 240. It's got fairly low penetration for its standard round, which is 202 millimeters, and the premium round is 242. That's a 3-shot autoloader. You can see the intra-clip the time between the shells firing is pretty rapid, but it's actually faster than the aim time. So if you want to get all your shells in, you might just have to wait a little bit longer than the standard time. But it's also got a fairly long reload time between rounds, so that brings its average DPM down to, I think it's around 1700 DPM, which is pretty low for the tier. Now, he's got 2 marks of excellence on this tank, so you know he plays it well, and he's trying to get the 3rd mark of excellence. So trying to do as much damage as possible. Yeah, things are still pretty quiet. Nothing seems to be on the hill, which is interesting. The LTG is up there. Typically, as this is a standard battle, there should be heavy tanks battling on the hill, but nothing's been seen yet. Merry is platooned with a player in an object 252U who's gone up that direction. But so far, having spotted tanks on the cap area, the enemy cap area, there it looks like most of the heavy tanks are actually staying down there for some reason. So I'm not really sure what it is. Anyway, it's unloading into the lever there, and he gets his full clip there. That brings him up to just under 1400 damage, and we're just in 2.5 minutes of play. Now, Star WT's been spotted. He realises he's been spotted, but you can see Merry is still reloading. And you also see the gun handling not fantastic there. As he moves the gun around, the bloom is quite substantial. See if you can focus in on that lever. Oh no, he's got a better target here, the Super Cat advancing. Puts 1 shot in, 2nd shot misses, gets a 2nd shot in, and it looks like he stops him, but hasn't been able to see what happened there. He's lost sight of him as he's gone out of view range. And there he's got a target there, the T27 too, but again, he's in reload and just waiting what would seem like a long time to get your shells up. Now his team are melting a little bit. Nothing's been spotted on the hill. Now this is one of the dangerous parts of this match, this map I should say. Coming down off the hill, the tanks in the forest, if you're lit by light tanks, then you can be shot at by tanks in the forest without them exposing themselves too much. Now Merry gets lit up there, and he puts a couple of rounds into the T29, or towards the T29, gets this first into the LT432 that was lighting him up. But for some reason the T29 didn't fire back, or if he did, it just missed. In fact, there's an incoming round there, so he's been lit again. It's probably that LT432 has come back into a position to spot, and it's not going to make that position viable. So he's backed off down the hill here. You can see the tanks on the hill are pretty much stalled. They're coming down, they're probably getting lit, and they're not able to do a whole lot. Now one of the things you can do, and I'm not sure if that's what that object is doing, is you can drop off the side of the hill there to get into shallow ground and advance back down through the village. But that sort of gives away one of the advantages coming off the hill. And there has been lit again, that will definitely be the LT. And it looks like the enemy is advanced down the map as well, so they're coming towards their cap. And he's got the LT in front of him, but there are plenty of tanks down in the south area that probably need to be dealt with. There are 4 tanks down now. And he's found an ICU-152K out in the middle, so he'll try and extract as much damage out of him as possible, and he gets the kill. That's 2 kills there to Merry. And there's a Barask has spotted him, so he backs off a little bit. Now, there's not a lot of armour on the Skoda, so he's really trying to get out of range of anything. He's picked up some spotting damage there from his platoon mate. Does take a hit from that T27 that he had a target for before, it wasn't loaded, and he's gone on the reload here. As I said, not a lot of armour on the Skoda, so definitely needs to use terrain to his advantage, but this is one thing this map is good for. Now he does take a hit there from Lorraine 40T, and some more coming in, so he's just dodging and weaving a little bit here. But we know that Lorraine's gun handling also not so fantastic on the move, so he's probably pretty safe if the Lorraine is moving. And there's another bounce come in from an LT 432. So it's interesting how long you stay lit. Or that was just good anticipation from the LT 432. So he's coming up here just to basically get out of view range. Gives him a few options to either give some view to the heavy tanks that are trying to get off the hill, or to come back and defend. There's that LT432, can he get rid of him? Yes, he does. That's a very nice achievement there. He's managed to get rid of their main eyes there, although they've still got some mediums around. And his platoon mate suffering a bit from Artie there, but if it wasn't for him and the Hotch down there, they probably wouldn't have gotten anywhere. Now that Lorraine 40T that shot him is coming up. Good play. You can see 2 marks of excellence on his tank as well, but Merry gets the kill. So that takes him up to over 4,000 of damage. So you can see playing this tank with low DPM doesn't mean you can't do a lot of damage. You just got to make sure your shots count and you don't stay exposed for too long. Now you can see there's one tank on cap, and he's asking the EBR to move up and spot, and he'll go down and shoot. But as he does that, he gets in front of a Super Hellcat, gets 2 shots in. The Super Hellcat perhaps wasn't looking at him, gets rid of the Super Hellcat. That's taking him up to 5 kills. But the timer is still clicking down. It's only 1 tank though on cap. So last seen down there was a Barask, but now he's spotted a VK-75. Although Merry hasn't been spotted, which is a good thing. But the EBR's been killed, and that's a bad thing. So he doesn't have that spotter that he thought he was going to have. He's going to have to go and do his own spotting pretty much. And he's only got a very slow tank destroyer and a heavy tank coming towards him. So he's got that VK lined up. There's only 30 seconds left on the cap. If he puts his shots in, he's still got to reload. He's been lit, that would have been the VK, and now he knows what's on the cap. There's a Barask. He doesn't want to be a target for the VK and lose too much more health. He's already had a chunk taken out. And there's the Barask, so he's ducking down. Cap's been reset, and he's putting some extra rounds in to the Barask there. That's some good shooting there by his platoon mate to get the reset. And the T27 too, also spotted down there. But Merry is on reload here. He can just keep him lit up, but doesn't want to get lit himself. Now he's on reload. He's got the side of the VK, so he can definitely punish him. One more shot. Yep, that's the kill. That's his 6th kill. That's his top gun. But he's lost his platoon mate, unfortunately. So that means that Steyr WT that was last seen on cap is probably up here around the around Merry's cap area. So you see some rounds coming in as well. They know he's down here, so a bit of blind firing going on. and there is an arty on each team, so spotting is going to help. He knows that Brask is still around this area somewhere. In fact, there he is. One shot in doesn't quite kill him. Could have done with a high roll there. And the arty strike comes in but misses completely. That's a bit unfortunate. And he gets splashed by arty as well, which temporarily stuns him. But he's climbing up in the damage here. He's nearly 6k. There's the T27. Does he have a shot on him? No, he's in reload anyway, so that's not going to help. But the T27 may not realise that he's spotted now. And is he going to stay there? That'd be a nice thing. Reloads. Oh, one goes in critical damage. The second goes in. Doesn't seem to hit. And he goes for the reload. Things are really close here. They do have a significant hit point advantage, but have a look at the distribution of tanks here. The artillery's on the hill. Not a bad idea. Good place to be. T29's on the hill. What is that T29 doing? He's definitely not helping. If you look at the team's hit points, that T29 should be relatively full of health. But he's definitely not helping. You know, he's moving around, so he's not AFK or anything like that, but I don't think the team are all that happy with him either. And now this tank's back on cap. That will probably be the T25. And Merry's down to standard rounds. He's used all his premium rounds, and that's probably the reason why he bounced off the T25 to these damage DPM. Sorry, the penetration of the standard round, only 202 millimeters. So that's probably what was missing from his shooting at the T25 too, was that penetration that he needed. Now there's 3 tanks on cap, so they're all down here, apart from the artillery. He's got to pick which one's got the cap. 6 seconds to go, 5 seconds. Okay, he's got the Steyr. Gets a nice reset. Steyr had most of the thing, gets the kill on the Steyr. One more shot kills the T25 too. That's some pretty damn good shooting there. So 7 kills now to Merry. Over 6,000 damage. He's on the reload. The Brask is still on cap. All he needs to do is just light him up temporarily, and maybe the arty can stun him, although I think the arty came in already. Gets a kill on the Brask. The Brask gives him a hit, but that takes him down to only 457, and now there's only the Crusader SP left, and there's only 2 minutes left in the game. Tanks on the hill starting to move, but if he decides to cap, he may not quite make it there in time. Otherwise they need to find that Crusader SP. So a minute 40 left now. And I just think it's a minute 30 on cap for a single tank. It's a minute 30 now, so really not long enough unless those tanks can come down off the hill and join him. So I think Merry's pretty keen not to do that. Yeah, it's actually 1 minute 40. There you go, 1:39. So really all they can do to win this is to find that Crusader SP and get rid of him. So it's coming up through here, through the forest, checking every angle possible, just making sure that you can't drive past him. And he's found him at last. So 1 shot in, 2nd shot in should get the kill, and it does, and that's his 9th kill. Got a Radley-Walters medal anyway, and that's a great result now. Turns into a win, 6,800 damage, fantastic result there. So an X-Tanker Mastery badge there, and a whole stack of other rewards there. You got Top Gun there for getting more than 6 kills, as we saw, but he also got the Radley-Walters medal there for getting 9 kills. He got the High Caliber Award for the most damage, and Tank Sniper Award, as well as the Defender Award for getting at least I think 70 points of reduction of cap points there. But usefully, he also got his 3rd mark of excellence on that tank there. So great result there, Merry, and fantastic play in that tank over time as well. In terms of the team performance, he finished on top with 1923 base experience. Absolutely fantastic result there, and for the tier, just incredible result there. His platoon mate in the Object 252 got over 4k of damage himself and should be pretty proud of his performance there. Certainly the two of them carried that play. The EBR helped a great deal, but in the end, it didn't last long enough to make a better contribution that perhaps he could have. And that T29 at the end, just an absolute waste of space in the game there. It did get 2 kills at 414 damage and didn't move when needed, so not the sort of player you'd want on your team. And on the other side there, the Barask did the most damage there and got a very good experience amount again for a losing side. But overall the team really didn't perform all that well. But in the end it was a very close game, came right down to the wire in terms of time. So excellent play there to get a win out of that. Merry fired 42 shots, 40 of those hit, so great gunnery there. 34 of those penetrated. That just shows you some of the weaknesses of the standard round. 7,073 damage, absolutely fantastic result there. Most of it over 300 meters range, and again, not a lot of armor to play with, so really pretty much required, even though the dispersion's fairly high. Got 1,400 damage assisted as well, so total there of 8.4, or nearly actually 8.5k almost of combined damage. Earned a fair number of credits there, ended up with a profit of 118,000, even with the use of all his premium ammunition. So a great result there for Merry, and happy to have his content on this channel. So if you like this video, please consider, or please give it a like. If you aren't a current subscriber, please consider subscribing, and we'll certainly have some more content for you through the weeks ahead. So thanks for watching.